Furthermore, I will try to explain bit by bit how the original mankind lost his power given by God to rule the earth. Now, ever since the idea of creation of man on earth to rule, there has been a force against mankind because God made man to rule the earth as his own kingdom while God is to rule above man. In other words, man is to be a god on earth because he's the image and likeness of God. But there are other beings who never liked the idea and have always been making sure mankind is erased from the face of the earth. Man is so special to God more than the other beings that he gave man power to rule over everything on earth. Now let's try to find out biblically how the fall of man started. Reading from Genesis 1 verse 26, and God said, "Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth." Then in verse 29 to 30. "And God said, Behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree, in the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed, to you it shall be for meat. And to every beast of the earth, and to every fowl of the air, and to every thing that creepeth upon the earth, wherein there is life, I have given every green herb for meat," and it was so. You can see the power given to man was too much and envious to other beings. This was the beginning when man was still a spirit being and not yet a human on earth. Let's look at Genesis 2 verse 5 to 6. "And every plant of the field before it was in the earth, and every herb of the field before it grew, for the Lord God had not caused it to rain upon the earth, and there was not a man to till the ground. But there went up a mist from the earth, and watered the whole face of the ground." Now who is that mist? God created man already and he has not put man on earth. Who could that be watering the earth? You can see now a being is trying to please God because it knows what God knows, and watering the earth is a good thing. So it's trying to tell God there will be no need for man to rule the earth since someone can do what man can never do. But God, being the superior and having other plans for man, he made man a physical being and planted a garden, a special place for man to stay. God created other animals and plants for man to rule over and have dominion, which means these animals and plants are created specially for man in the Garden of Eden, different from the ones God created outside the garden. And God made the animals he created for man to have the fear of man so man can dominate over them all in the garden. Note, it wasn't written he will dominate all the animals on the face of the earth as a human. That's why you find some animals have fear and some attack. Let's go further. Now man has become flesh on earth. Reading Genesis 3 verse 1 to 5. "Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord God had made. And he said unto the woman, Yea, hath God said, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden? And the woman said unto the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God hath said, Ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. And the serpent said unto the woman, Ye shall not surely die, for God doth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil."
After man has been deceived by this envious beings, let's read Genesis 3 verse 8 to 11. "And they heard the voice of the Lord God walking in the garden in the cool of the day, and Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord God amongst the trees of the garden. And the Lord God called unto Adam, and said unto him, Where art thou? And he said, I heard thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid, because I was naked, and I hid myself. And he said, Who told thee that thou wast naked? Hast thou eaten of the tree, whereof I commanded thee that thou shouldest not eat? This means God was talking to someone, as quoted, they heard God's voice walking in the midst of the garden. You can see how cruel those beings are. After deceiving man, they brought God to the garden so he could see the kind of human he created and gave authority to rule the earth. Let's look at Genesis 3 verse 22. "And the Lord God said, Behold, the man is become as one of us, to know good and evil, and now, lest he put forth his hand, and take also of the tree of life, and eat, and live forever." Their plans was for God to destroy man after disobeying God, but God's ways is not their ways. He is a merciful God. Rather, he made man a reincarnated human being, which means they will die and live again. Man will never cease to live on earth. God also made cloth for them despite the disobedient. The love of God to mankind is so divine that we abusing it. Next, I will talk about the creation of different races biblically, historically, and science. All glory to our Creator for showing us mercy till this day.